Hey guys, Stacy here with Sway Productions. I hope you're having a good one. The live video I did, if you got to see it, I'm sorry. It didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. Just technical difficulties. It was more user error. So what I figured I would do is just record a video and show you what I've did on live and condense it down a little bit because I respect time. Okay, so this is my desktop. So I'm editing every bit of this in Adobe Creative Cloud, blah, blah, blah. Premiere Pro is where I'm starting, but I'm doing a dynamic link to After Effects. So this is what I've got so far. As you can see, the whole project is like a little under 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It's not that long of a Star Wars video. Sorry to disappoint that to you guys in case y'all were wanting something a little more lengthy. I will say this, an interesting fact is, let's see, my son wrote this right here, so that's not bad. Let me mute that because, try to monetize this. So my son helped me write the crawl. I had an idea, and he said, I sent it to him. I was like, what do you think about this? He said, that sounds good, but it sounds, needs work, blah, blah. Well, my son is got a minor, is working on getting a minor in college for his creative writing. He can write like crazy. But anyway, so this whole Star Wars fan film was from the idea, from the last idea I had, which is what we acted on, to May 4th is about a month, give or take. And so we actually filmed, and it took about a little under 3 hours, like 2 hours and 45 minutes tops. And we filmed it in Little Rock, Arkansas. If I made a video talking about if I could go back, I would, do things different, and I would, honestly. And I want to tell you just real quick what this came from, the idea. So I heard this Star Wars Rogue One mashup song or something. I'll link it in the comments or something. And I was like, man, when I heard that, I was like, man, I could, listening to this stuff, I was seeing, Star Wars stuff in my head. I was seeing, the Darth Vader, standing in a field with like tall, grass kind of sort of, not as thick as 300 or Gladiator or whatever, not that thick, but kind of sparse patches of grass. And he's thinking about, he's remembering things from like before he was Darth Vader, when he was, Anakin, or if that makes any sense. And so I was thinking about doing that, with a bunch of like, shots that are pushing in and going, places and moving camera. But, that was years ago, and I didn't know how to do that because I didn't have a Darth Vader suit. And then the buddy that actually did a lot of my drone footage, he has a Vader suit. And I was like, oh, really? And he has the Vader lightsaber, which I wasn't able to use. He 3D printed one because I didn't want to break his. He would have let me use it. Thank you, Kurt, but I don't want to break that thing. And he had a Darth Vader Series Black helmet, which was pretty cool. We got to use that, and we're talking, this is probably 3 years, maybe 4 years of wanting to do a Star Wars fan film, and just never been able to do it because of, budget. If May the 4th wasn't a, locked on date for me to have this done by, I would honestly have a longer video, maybe 10 minutes, maybe add more to it. We'll open up After Effects and kind of show you guys some stuff, kind of give you an idea of what I've been dealing with. But I love it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy doing this stuff. And yes, I am wearing readers because, I'm cool like that. So anyway, I would add more to it. I would spend more time filming it. It would be multiple days filming versus just that, less than 3 hour stint. And that's, that's the thing about me is, a lot of people don't really know like a lot about me as far as the filming goes. You do if you've worked with me, and you may know it, and I'm just, thinking you don't. But I write the majority, 99% of my stuff I've written. I've directed it. I've edited it. I've, did the sound. I did the Foley. I did So basically what I'm saying is if you work with me, I don't have like I have like, I don't have a lighting person, grip, whatever that stuff's called. I just make films. I don't get into all the details of, this is you and this is you and this is your, I just make films because I enjoy it. And so I don't have a lighting department. I don't have a sound department. I don't have, director of photography. And, I have yet, I think, to even do a table read or whatever that's called. I just kind of work with people over the phone and here and there. And most of my stuff is done, pretty quickly, moving. But, I'm learning that if I can give myself 2 days to film something, no matter if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, give myself more time. And not just more time that day, but have more time. Okay, I filmed this, this afternoon, if you will. Go over it tonight. Okay, tomorrow we got to redo these 2 scenes and then carry on with this next one. So the second day is usually the light day because I know there's the potential of having reshoots. But yeah, I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy people like, Zach Ramelin or who's that guy on here on YouTube. He's pushing hybrid filmmaking. And I agree with that. I think a lot of people, especially starting out, and I've been doing this for a while and I've kind of just, kind of done it, creature habit. I feel like that, if you want to get started making films, there's no excuse. I almost filmed this Star Wars fan film with my phone. Honestly, I missed a spot right there, didn't I? That cut right through him. So I'll show you this stuff too, but I almost filmed it with the iPhone 13 because I feel like that it's not about the camera and it's not even about the lens. Sometimes it's just about going out and getting things done. If this is all you have, then if you have a phone with a camera, you have no excuse. So let's get going on this. So like I said, this is Adobe After Effects, and the effects what I'm using is Video Copilot's Saber plugin, which you can mess with all the settings here. Each size with the core, each frame was a little different depending on the thickness of the lightsaber they were using. I know you can probably barely see that. Come on, there it is. You can barely see the blade because it was in motion, but she had like a little Star Wars lightsaber thing. See, I'm used to DaVinci Resolve. I am not used to Adobe After Effects. I hit X and I don't know what that just did. Anyway, so I'm just covering up, the blade on her Amazon Star Wars thing. I was lucky enough that Jordan already had the outfit. That was cool. My buddy, and you remember Jordan from a couple of films. You'll probably remember her from Hacked, and you'll remember her from Angered. She was the girl there. And then my buddy, he's getting into acting and everything. Jonathan Thurber, man, he's got a channel on TikTok that is pretty good. But anyway, he's in this, and he had his costumes and stuff too. So let me show you this. So, people say, they want to make a Star Wars fan film, right? They want to have lightsabers and all this and that, and so it's fun and cool. So check this out. So this is just the saber for her. This is nobody but her saber right there. Then we'll click it. There you go. You got the start of the blade and the end of the blade, right? Well, each one of these little dots represents how many times it's been moved. And let's see. This starts out. There you go. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so if you look right here, this is the preview time. There's 24 frames in a second of film, which basically means you've got 24 pictures to make 1 second of film. So if you look at this, you got 2 points. You've got to move 24 times for a second. There's 12. And then I think you get the idea. There's 24. So all those, and that's not that bad, right? It's not that bad. You got 3 blades in a scene that you got to do this too, and blah, blah, blah. So what about this? What about when the blade, come on. Oh, I didn't do one for that. Oh, cool. So we'll do this live. So what about when the blade goes like that? Because obviously it doesn't go through him. What are you going to do then? We just scrub through this. Scrub a dub. Command Z, because I don't know what just happened there. This threw me for a loop. Okay. All right, we're good. Okay, cool. So this isn't very long. Okay, so this is what we're going to do because the blade technically goes through Jonathan, and that's not what we want to do. We're going to have to do a mask. But before we do a mask, what I like to do is keep it pretty simple. So I'll go to Edit. I say it's pretty simple. It's simple for me. And we're going to split this layer, and then we'll rename this. Okay, rename her mask. And I kind of did that, and I kind of didn't on the other ones, but the smaller layers are that way. And then we're going to scrub just her. Just her, and I don't think there's another. I've already scrubbed it, so there's not another scene. So this is pretty simple. We're just going to split it there again. Again, edit. I don't know. Come on, computer. What are you doing? And split layer. Okay, so now we're just focusing on this right here. So this is actually kind of cool. You get to edit with me after all. And keep in mind, this is not color. This is, Sony S-Log footage, whatever. Okay. So this, we're going to rename this. Her, I don't know, her one, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Her mask is all we care about for this scene. And it's not very long. So we're just going to, and my thoughts on this, before I even putting the mask down there, is I'm going to look at this little section here, and I'm just going to see, okay, so what points do I need to make? So I'm probably going to follow here, all the way down and around. And it's not that bad because it's not that bad. Believe me, I've masked a lot worse. And you don't have to be super accurate with this. Let's Command Z on that. Let's go under the arm. Try to be somewhat accurate, you know what I mean? And there we go. Okay, so you're like, Stacy, that didn't do anything. Well, not yet. So we're going to go back to the mask and we'll hit M. And then we're going to subtract. Okay, nothing yet. Let's go ahead and hit V so we don't add another mask. V is our selection tool. And then with the this mask thing, we're going to go core. So what that does, let me see if I can do this. Shoot. Double click. So what that does is that allows the mask to be cut out, but you still have the glow from the light. It's not just a hard mask that's feathered, because I've done this 100 times. If you know what I'm talking about, then you understand. So anyway, you'll cut this out. We'll cut this out real quick. Okay. Before I get going, I'm going to go ahead and hit the stopwatch to animate this mask so it'll follow me. Go ahead and click one time in the middle. Let's see. This is where it gets tough. So let me see. Turn that off. I'm just going to grab and just kind of, so it's like that. Just kind of see where I'm at here. It looks like there's a hole here. So how in the world are we gonna do that? There's his elbow. Okay, I see what's going on here. Whoa. Command C. I'm on a Mac, M1 Studio. See, honestly, that little window right there, and I don't even see anything in there. So I'm going to cut that out completely. Save. Move forward. We're good. There's no blade cutting him. Okay, so let's just check this. Go back a frame. Let's just check. Yeah, there we go. I knew there was something happening here. If you see it on the next frame, then you see it on this one too. You know what I mean? Let's go and turn that glow back on so you can kind of get the idea. You see that? How it kind of goes through the mask a touch. And we're almost done. There we go. Save. Get used to saving. Because I've had this, man. You know, I think I hit undo more than I hit save. I have had this, I'm not going to lie to you, edit a Star Wars lightsaber thing like this, you know what I mean? And not even hit the stopwatch. So basically what that means is the stopwatch or the record button or whatever you want is recording these movements, right? Could you imagine editing this? Like, I don't know how many seconds. Okay, so hold on, let's see. Could you imagine going 6 seconds, 17 frames, and not hit the save button for when you animate the blades? Could you imagine how frustrating that would be? So anyway, I'm really excited for you guys to watch this on May the 4th. It'll probably be May the 4th, I believe, is on a Sunday. So it'll probably be uploaded, 9 o'clock my normal time on Sunday. Or is it on Sunday? Let me look and see. Yeah, May the 4th on a Sunday. So it'll be up on May the 4th on a Sunday this year. So it'll actually be up at 9 o'clock May the 4th, and I can't wait for you guys to watch this. I do have a guy. Y'all may have heard of him. Let me go back to that. I've saved. Actually, let me tell you this real quick. I do have a guy. Y'all may have heard of the Nuka Zuka YouTube channel. Well, Andrew McMurray is going to do, he's doing a Darth Vader voiceover for me, and he's really good. And you ought to check out that channel. He did and I'll try to link that in the comments, or the description, excuse me, where he actually did a Darth Vader versus Buzz Lightyear video years ago, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's really good too. Let me show you this real quick. So let's just, let's just have some fun. So let's select this one, her. Okay, cool. So we got this, and you're like, man, I like her lightsaber, but wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if we could change that without having to reanimate points and all that stuff? Well, you can. So if you go by here, and this is, hold on, Control Z. We want to go back to default. And if you go to here, and you want to change this to anything that is really actually pretty cool. So let's go with, what's Ghostbuster? It looks like Slimer. You can change all of this. Firestorm. Oh, yeah. So you can change this whole thing, and it remembers, see the dots moving? It's remembering the flame. It's remembering the lightsaber pattern and where it was. So honestly, if I could, go back and not do that trailer, I would have done something a little less traditional for his blades. I'm not talking about like, Kylo Ren stuff, but I would have done something pretty neat. You know what I mean? And I'm, if you know anything about me, I like Castlevania, right? So, you see where I'm going with this? Castlevania 2, Dracula's Curse, or Simon's Quest, whatever you want to call that. I can't remember what it was, but it was my favorite game of all time, believe it or not. Anyway, it had a flame Morningstar whip, you know what I mean? And that was like super cool. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let me get out of this, and I will show you one more thing before I am going to cut the video. So we're going to go back to Adobe Premiere Pro, and we're going to go back to the Star Wars project. And I got an update in Adobe in the middle of this thing, so it really scared me. Not bad. And that's the suit I'm talking about. I'm not even 100% sure I had it right, but, for someone letting you borrow it, it's not that bad. That was, it's a cheap suit, but, I was able to do the film with it. So anyway, it's been Stacy with Sway Productions. I appreciate you guys watching this, and I appreciate y'all's support. I plan on doing a lot more behind the scenes on every project I do, and especially on the YouTube short program, to where I can just keep pumping videos out there a lot faster than I can these longer ones, because man, I like getting content. I like making films. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys, and we will see y'all again really soon. Bye.